Howdy, folks. We should be live. It's Wednesday, July 9th, 11:33 a.m. EDT is the time, or EST if that's more to your speed. The temperature is 24 degrees Celsius, and with the humidex, it feels like 24 degrees Celsius. And it is a bit overcast and cloudy as we are expecting possibly some rain later today. Let me just make sure we're all dialed in here. YSS says, hi everyone, nice intro music. Thanks, I was up all night making it. Madano is here, Sheena, Harjot, Marge, Drew Costin, Meanish, Alicia Lewis, Nuke Rose, Jeanette Morales, Harjot, Aiden Thompson McGuire, Randy Ruck, and everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. I decided to skip a morning video and go live from the young Eglinton Rooftop. D Boutique 617, happy Wednesday morning, Johnny Mods and everyone in the chat. Good morning indeed. Fuzzy Colossus is here, Russell, and everyone else. Ta-da! So I'm gonna pick up the gimbal. We're gonna walk that way for a while. Then when I get to Forest Hill, we're gonna walk that way, and then I'll probably walk back this way. I really don't know. But as you can see, I'm rocking the Dr. Pepper shirt. I haven't worn this in a very long time, and I used to wear it all the time. I've also got shades, which I don't think I'm going to be needing. And you may notice we are back in 4K again. Hey, look, a cop busted someone. Probably an illegal turn at Yonge and Eglinton. You could literally sit there all day and watch people make illegal turns and get pulled over. Get your popcorn out. There's where the Eglinton Crosstown LRT entrance is, right next to the subway entrance for some reason. Do we really need two? No. But does Metrolinx know anything about good land use? No. And there's a canopy of trees looking southwest of here. So big thanks to everyone for tuning in. Big thanks to our mods. I already saw a lot in here. Marge, Vivian, Sheena, Madano. Perhaps Yogi will make an appearance. Yeah, if you're ever in the young Eglinton area and it's a nice day, you can grab a coffee or a lunch and come up to here and just chill on the rooftop, get away from some of the loud and craziness of our busy streets, get away from it all a bit. But we're gonna look up and then head down. Predictions for the Eglinton Crosstown LRT opening. Well, it doesn't look like it's gonna be September anymore. I'm gonna say February. And there's what I believe should be a scramble crossing. Good morning, Damon Washington. But we're gonna get down to street level. Nuke Rose, like number 36, thank you. Thank you very much. As we wait for the elevator. But yeah, you can go down to the food court here. Pick up some food, head up to the rooftop and eat it. RD says, hello, Mr. Jonathan Stridarius. Hello, RD. All right.
First floor.
First floor.
Going down.
Welcome to my hood, Young in Eglinton. There'll be a video around this area coming up. Brad says, hi chat, miss the big smoke. You don't hear the big smoke too often, or Hogtown. Fortunately, you don't hear the 6 too often. But when people say Midtown, this is what comes to mind usually. Young and Eglinton, even though Midtown is technically anything north of Bloor Street, north of downtown. But we're gonna head east, or rather west, along Eglinton Avenue here. One last look at the intersection. Then when I get to Forest Hill, we'll head south and we'll go through some fancy ass residential areas. I was really at a loss as to where I should stream today. So I thought, let's just keep it simple. Marge says, how about them Jays? Yeah, they won 10 in a row and they did it in 6 innings last night, thanks to some rain. I was watching the Yankees have a rain delay, then soon after that was resolved, the Jays and Chi Sox ended up in a rain delay. Today they go for 11. Actually, they go for 11 at 2:07 p.m. I think. 2:07 or 2:10. So my plan is to head straight home after this stream. Well, I'll pick up some lunch on the way. Then watch the Jays play a minor league team. Then they have a day off, and then they have 3 versus another minor league team in a minor league stadium. So it's possible they go into the All-Star break with a 14 in a row streak. Aw, that's sad. Toronto social experiment. There's an entrance to Eglinton Station. Let's see if this guy is sneaking in. The guy in the black shirt. No, he is not. I swear, you could stand there and every few minutes you'll watch someone sneak right in. It's kind of interesting. Every once in a while they put some people up or have some cops or TTC employees man that entrance, but as soon as they disappear, people go right back to sneaking in. Epic Nation HD is here. Lisa is here, aka Epic National HD. Jillian Felix is here. I pinned a message inadvertently. Oops. Has anyone ever seen Mr. Stridarius and Blue Jays Chad Green in the same room? I'd be living quite the double life. Pretty sure I've been live streaming when Chad Green has been on the hill at some point. We're going to start off on Eglinton, then I'm going to pick a random road and go south through Forest Hill at some point. Greetings, Philip. We'll be walking past Eglinton Park in a little bit. Feels like it's been, what, maybe 3 months since I last live streamed along this part of Eglinton. We're only at 1,750 steps. That includes the walk from my apartment. Although, look at that. I got a 90 sleep last night. And 8% exertion. I want that to be up to 100%. And if I don't exercise, I'm not going to hit that. And Wednesday is a day off in that regard. So I guess we're just going to have to not max that out. There's the Bedford Funeral Home. I always kind of like this view. I have to make sure I'm not standing at a bus stop. Looking that way along Eglinton. There's a 52 Lawrence bus. Just a friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell, yada yada. I go live here 3-4 times a week on this channel, usually every Sunday on the Johnny Stumbles channel. Hey, G Jackie Roxas is here saying good morning to Toronto and me. Good morning to you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. But how much nicer is it to walk along here without all the construction from the crosstown? Although Eglinton Park now is under construction, and that whole area over there is fenced off as soon as you get into the park. Here's kind of the closest we get to Square Boy, the Burger Shack. Aiden Thompson McGuire, member for 9 months, gold tier status. Aiden Thompson McGuire, thank you so much for the 9 months of membership and all the support over the past several months. Thank you so much, Aiden Thompson McGuire. Apparently this area is called the Eglinton Way. Shows what I know. Randy Ruck upgraded membership to gold tier. Randy Ruck. Thank you so much, Randy. Cheers to you. Thank you for the support. And Anthony says, why don't we rent another car? Drive somewhere. Stay tuned. That's all I can say to that. $2024 grand opening special, $75, teeth cleaning, x-rays, and exam. They're still running that special. LRV testing underway. There's Blondie's Pizza. Action Kid is here saying, what in the world is the Eglinton Way? Never heard that before. Yeah, I live here. And it's never really registered. I've seen it referred to as that, but never really stuck in my mind as the Eglinton Way. And I don't think that's the name of the local VIA, but that's a really nice view to the west. That guy didn't want to be on camera. And here's the pub I used to go to. What is this? Oh, they've gone back to pub food. During the pandemic, they changed their kitchen over to like Chinese food. And it was a bit weird because I came in with a buddy just to have a beer and some food, and all the regular food wasn't available. All they had was Chinese food, and we were like, is this a pub? And it looks like they've changed it back. Action Kid says that's a really good special. Yeah, that is. Those are like Thailand prices almost. But of course, they just want you to become a regular patient of theirs, so they look at it as them making a small investment and gaining a client. There's Avenue, Action Kid's favorite street, Avenue Road. But there's actually a number of Avenue Roads in the UK, and that's where this name is derived from. Although it certainly sounds like they didn't have any ideas for a name. What do we call this? I don't know. Something Road? How about Avenue Road? John Nicholson asking, Action Kid, when are you coming back to Toronto? Or, I think that's what he said. Greggy Bears, member for 2 months. Kudos to the mods. Greggy Bears, thank you so much for 2 months of membership. And yes, kudos and cheers to the mods. As you can see, I didn't shave this morning. Oops. I won't lie. I figured I would take a shower and clean up after my morning live stream. This is the closest anyone has come to riding the Crosstown LRT. Yeah, I think that Timmy's is kind of new over there. Forest Hill near the Science Center? No, the Science Center, the old Science Center, is at Don Mills in Eglinton. Greetings, JPS. They should have named the Crosstown LRT the Eglinton Way. That would have worked.
Stop it! Stop it. Drop it. Here.
That dog had something locked into its jaw, and they could not get it to let go of whatever it was. JPS says nice weather we got here. Yeah, impending thunderstorms, but otherwise nice. It's a little bit muggy. We'll be a little bit more adventurous on the next live stream, possibly Friday or Saturday. I'll stream one of those 2 days for sure. Greg says I got it right before it's Hybers. Oh, sorry. And here I am thinking I'm being all fancy, putting on a French accent. Thank you, Greg. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. I've ever done a video through Mount Pleasant Cemetery. I've cut through the cemetery in videos before, and I've live streamed through there many times. I see Remy, 69 Thai Bot. Hi from Thailand. I see Remy. Greetings to you. Thank you so much for the 69 Thai Bot. Cheers to you. I think it was last year where your daughter was attending UFT and she popped into a live stream to say hi right in front of Dundas Square. Crystal G really enjoys these walks. Why is walks in quotation? Am I just floating? I like how that girl subtly covered her face up when she saw the camera. She's like, now's a good time to put my hand over my face and leave it there. Forest Hill's newest boutique fitness studio. Except we are not in Forest Hill. There's a modified bus stop for better accessibility. Oh, because you're not doing the walking? You could set up a treadmill or an exercise bike. Greg says it's not French, it's Dutch. It shows what I know. I'll have to go back to the Netherlands at some point. It's the only country where I ever felt like I was genuinely short. That's a good question, JL. I'm not sure. I remember going to a pancake restaurant in Amsterdam and our waitress was like 6'2". It's a very tall country. The Longevity Gym. Take the guesswork out of building a body that can last a lifetime. Quentin Mayer, $2. Hello, people of the 51st state. Nice and muggy there. Well, I will openly reject that claim. There's exactly a 0% chance of that, nor would we ever want to be a part of whatever the hell you have going on down there. But thank you for the $2. It's appreciated. Looks like they're building out a sidewalk patio. A little late to the action.
Yeah. I have to walk on you.
Patio weather is here, the Abbot. Here's the legendary House of Chan, which used to be west of here. And look at that, Go Dutch Bikes. There you go, Greg. You feel right at home. You can get your bike here. Dutch style bikes are quite unique. JJ, the resilient baked beans avocado shoe man, says, I hate the heat. Today is not so bad. Good enough that I can stream in 4K without my phone exploding from overheating so far. Greetings, Edward visits. Gelato. Go check out the Hotel Gelato. So at what point should I hang a left and dip down through Forest Hill? Mothman, $5 for a cup of coffee. Mothman. Thank you so much for the $5. That'll definitely be going towards a cup of coffee. I'm going to be having one either during the stream or right after. Thank you, Mothman. Math Doctor says where they serve gelato upon check-in and don't actually have anywhere to check into.
Right. So where are they putting the food?
Math Doctor says take a left at Spadina. There's an idea, but if we go left at Spadina, it won't be all fancy nice homes the whole way. What we can do though is we can work our way back to Spadina because there is like a little retail area in Forest Hill, just north of St. Clair. Maybe Old Forest Hill Road. There's a future entrance to Chaplin Station. Stephanie Jackson says, happy hump day, folks. Yeah, I guess it is. For you Monday to Friday 9 to 5ers, or just Monday to Friday anything. Some nice looking plants in that shop. Not coming soon to a city near you. LRT service. I maintain this is going to be a bit of a disappointment if you're expecting anything at all like subway levels of service. That is not what you're going to be getting with the crosstown. Especially since when it goes above grade, it doesn't have signal priority. In one of the most boneheaded moves of all time. Your multi-billions of dollars and practically a decade late underground streetcar is going to get slowed to a halt or a crawl by traffic on Eglinton East. Good job, whatever idiot thought that was a good idea. Greetings, Chad. Yoshi, the GTA Explorer, says that Johnny is here. Greetings, Yoshi. So what did everyone get in Prime Days? You know, I've been avoiding Prime like the plague. And just shopping locally, but I did pick a few things up. Because some things were just way cheaper that way. I'm not going to turn down that much of a savings. Way to go, CP. Whatever. What a fuckhead. That is basically stunt driving. You guys saw that, right? Let me get my stream up to speed here. So this is Spadina coming up. Black Audi with tinted windows. Lisa hates tinted windows. Yeah, that's obviously not something that gets enforced. Otherwise, we wouldn't really have that problem. But what we're going to do is we're going to head up to Old Forest Hill Road. And then I'll make a left. Greetings, Whippy Dude. Randy Ruck, $5 for the Whatever Fund. Thank you, Randy Ruck. Thank you so much for the $5. Cheers to you, Randy. Lisa says in some tints are so dark. What's really bad though are the tinted license plates, but also tinted windows. You could be doing whatever on your phone and a cop can't see you do that, driving distracted. Also, if you like hit and run and someone can't get a description of you. There's all kinds of reasons why tinted windows shouldn't be a thing. Hey, where's Jeanette when you need her? There's the Forest Hill Library branch. Raul says, good morning. Or do you want to head down Vesta Drive? Let's head down Vesta Drive. So we're going to be entering the Forest Hill part Math doctor says Drake's old high school. Yeah, this is where... What the fuck are you doing? It is! Wow, that lady just said, isn't that amazing? Wow, it happened again. We are going south down Vesta in Forest Hill. Another black Audi. So this is a very, very well-to-do neighborhood. Is it the car or the driver? I think it's certain brands of cars attract certain types of entitled drivers. I mean, I've encountered more than my fair share of Audis, Teslas, pickup trucks by people that drive them responsibly. But there's definitely a higher percentage of drivers of certain types of vehicles who drive like entitled assholes. It's one of those you got to be careful what you say. Things like, there's a black Audi and that might be the best driver in the world. Who owns it? Probably not, but maybe. So let's not discriminate. Oh, look at that house. That is gorgeous. Look at that landscaping. 10 out of 10. That's a beaut. Peter Bradfield has also worked in libraries for over 15 years. Neat. Greg says, and Teslas and BMW. Yeah, Range Rovers, any luxury branded vehicle. That sense of entitlement kicks in. There's a channel called Cartnarks, which I watch sometimes for kicks, of a guy, or it's a series of people who hang out in parking lots and they go after people who don't return their shopping carts, and they throw giant magnets on their car. I mean, it's one thing if you're physically unable to, that's all good. But the vast majority of people that they bust on that channel could return their carts, they just don't want to because they're lazy sacks of shit and they get called out, and sometimes hilarity ensues. There's a gorgeous street right there. I think we're on Old Forest Hill Road. Yeah, if you're ever bored, just put on Cartnarks. It's kind of funny. Some gorgeous homes in the area. That house is very much in what you could call like a Forest Hill style. You'll see that style of home everywhere. Same with this one. I was due for coming through here to make a regular walking video, but I had nothing going today, so I thought let's stream through here. Karen on the Humber says the camera on Parkside Drive has been vandalized again. Not really surprising. Look at that. Some gorgeous homes. Oh, and there's like a giant Mercedes pulling into the home that I was fixating the camera on. Look at that one. Oh, here comes a cop. Someone probably was like, hey, there's a guy casing the neighborhood with the camera. Yes, because someone would case the neighborhood that way. I don't know how I feel about those blue drapes, but I like the rest of what's going on here. All right, we've made it to Spadina. Hey, Peter Bradfield. Yes, libraries in both Florida and Georgia. Thank you, Peter Bradfield, for the $1.99. Thank you so much, Peter. Cheers to you. Lisa says, sup with the blue curtains. Maybe a failed experiment to accent the property. We'll wander a little bit more through these big, nice homes. B, you're either a city person or you're not. Oh. If one does not press the beg button, one does not get to cross the street here. That's how this works. Yes, make the lowly pedestrian press a button so they can cross. Some shit-tastic design there. Math Doctor says, how about M Blue Jays? Yeah, the Jays are coming on shortly after this stream ends. They'll be coming on just after 2 p.m. It's what, 12:16 now? Says no might roll. Walker, yeah, I'm lucky. I even have sidewalks in this neighborhood, right? These sidewalks are for the peasants and the live-in help. Look at that thing. There's a really nice home or street, no sidewalks. I'm almost tempted to take it. Yeah, let's go down whatever street this is. You're not gonna keep me at bay with no sidewalks. Holy shit, the landscaping costs here must be unreal. This one's for sale. Russell Willer and Karen Willer. Look at that. Thank you, Morgan. Yeah, Toronto's architecture gets a bad rap, but there's a lot of good stuff. You open your eyes and look around a little bit. Gaby says I'm right about the sidewalks. A buddy up in Richmond Hill was bragging about his new house. He said, off the bus route and no sidewalks, it's great. And what's sad is he's not paying anywhere near his share of the property taxes to live in a place like that. Those in denser urbanized areas subsidize suburbanites like that. Oh, you want all your services, municipal services, water, garbage and everything, but you also want to live in a low density, unsustainable neighborhood? You should have to pay for it, but you don't. Hey, there's a Hummer from Florida plugged in and charging. Holy shitballs, that's a big home. Morgan Tristan, $2 just found me. Well, glad you did. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you for the support. And Mike Landry, number 2, $5. Hi, Johnny, for something cold to drink. Well, Mr. Landry, thank you as well for the contribution towards a cold drink. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Mike. I don't even know what street this is. They weren't going to keep me off with their lack of sidewalks. Browside Avenue. If someone wants to look up what number 11 Browside Avenue was listed for, you might even get the sale price, but this one recently sold. Doctor says off to lunch. Toodles. Toodles to you. In case you couldn't have guessed it, we're in one of Toronto's most affluent neighborhoods. Sandwiched between Eglinton and St. Clair. This is Forest Hill. North of Eglinton, there is Forest Hill North. But there's some debate as to whether or not that one is really of the same ilk as this one, kind of like the Upper Beaches versus the Beaches claims. One of these two is not like the other. Aidan Thompson McGuire in Barrie right now. This is the most interesting thing going on. Well, there's got to be something interesting in Barrie, but thank you, Aidan Thompson McGuire and Chad Wabagwan with $5 as well. Let me heart that. Well, Aidan Thompson McGuire. Hopefully there's something good to do up in Barrie today, but thank you for the support, and Chad as well. Thank you so much, Chad, for the support. You guys are awesome. Let's make a left and then a right around this hoity-toity school right here. Sadly, I do not speak French. I was absolutely roasted in my videos around Montreal for my French pronunciation of things. They're a little more sensitive about that in Quebec. I went to Paris and mispronounced the hell out of a lot of things, and there was no complaints or comments about it, just a, hey, welcome to France, enjoy your time. You go to Quebec and say something wrong, you're gonna hear about it. Will you ever? How dare you disrespect us? Oh, sorry. I'm not trying to. There's a lot of gorgeous homes across the street over there. After grade 10, they said I could drop out of French, so I did. Actually, I think it was grade 9. I took Spanish in grade 10. So this is Dunlow Road. We've got a construction vehicle rolling up here. As we walk by Forest Hill Junior and Senior Public School. On the right. Man, that guy's just kicking up a ton of dust. Whew. To be fair, in Quebec, we claim to be a bilingual nation, so bad French can be seen as rude. Yeah, but I don't get it because there's a lot of people here that don't speak English or French very well, and we seem to understand here and do our best to understand them and get along. But fluent English is not enough for some parts of Quebec. It's kind of a weird double standard, but most people there are fine. I was just talking about some of the people dropping comments in my videos. Did I have a Spanish name in my class? Yes, I was Juan. And I was Jean in French class. All right, where are we here? Oh, hey, look, the sidewalk is ending. It looks like we've got 360 plus viewers tuned in. Thank you, guys. Never know what you're going to get for a view count on these weekday morning, afternoon streams. And it's nice to get out and show the city off at this time of day too. Doesn't always make for interesting walking videos, but it's a good time to stream. Let's read in your comment, Potsy. Mark says, looks like a TV neighborhood. Yeah, it's nice. It kind of lacks character, though. It's a bit too suburban-y in its layout. If I had unlimited budget and was told to buy a house in one of Toronto's ultra-wealthy residential neighborhoods, I'd probably get one on Hazelton in Yorkville. That would be my first pick. But my second pick would be somewhere in Rosedale, near Rosedale Station or Castlefranc or Sherburne Station. Look at this. Look at that monster. Let's go this way. There's a lot of construction going down there. I think the other big wealthy neighborhoods, well, there's a few, but the more notable ones would be Lawrence Park, which I went through there not too long ago. And there's the Bridle Path. There's a number of other ones which are more upper middle class than straight upper class, like Moore Park, Deer Park, and so on, but I think Hazleton and Yorkville is where I would be a homeowner if I was a billionaire when I woke up tomorrow. Right on the cusp of being downtown, you got the subway there. You're in a great neighborhood, which suddenly I could afford to be in. Potsy says, your pick is Mississauga, like Dolton Drive off of Mississauga Road. Carl Roth adding the Forest Hill or the Forest Highlands. Yeah, there's also Sherwood Forest. Lytton Park. There's a gorgeous home on the corner there. But we are back to Spadina. We're going to be going through a little retail area. Just south of here in a few blocks. I wonder if these ones on Spadina are a little bit less, just because you have to contend with being on a busy road. Mark says we'd pick one of those big Edwardians with lots of character in the annex. Yeah, that's why I put that modifier on there. It had to be in one of the ultra wealthy neighborhoods. Otherwise, that's what I would do. In the annex or one of the ones on Palmerston. I don't think I'd so much want to be in one of these neighborhoods, but if money were no object, I'd pick a few places before Forest Hill, personally. Who says you've worked on these houses? They're not cheaply made. I know one person who had their house like screwed together. They didn't have it nailed together, which cost significantly more money, but it was one of these big monster homes. So yeah, I don't know about them being cheaply made. That you don't get any creaks or anything. Bobby Point. Yeah, the Kingsway, Bobby Point. I don't really know what I'm talking about, because if money were no object, I would just get a condo. Light those maintenance fees on fire. That's okay. So just coming up here is where all the retail action is in Forest Hill. And I think there's an old walk-up apartment building here that has been vacant for a very long time. I think it's this one actually. How sad is this? These people were evicted from their rent-controlled, somewhat affordable housing. And this property has sat here like this for a very long time. Those are some mean padlocks on the door. I read an article about this a long time ago. It's sad to see it still in this shape. And what's sad is this is exactly the kind of housing we need more of. Hopefully the developer or whoever bought it out had to provide replacement housing for the people that got evicted. That's usually what happens in areas like this. But yeah, there's the sign that would have been advertising it. Let's go across the street and get a look. What a shame. It's a nice looking old building. It just needed a little bit of TLC. Carl Roth says you would never buy a nice home on a main road. Yeah, but that's why I was speculating. I think there's probably a slight discount, which is enough to entice some people to buy these homes. $463 Spadina for sale. You guys can look that one up. Who wants to look this one up? 463 Spadina Road. First person to post the list price or asking gets a kudos from me. Was it a renoviction? I'm not sure. I think the plan was to demolish it and build something new. There's another old walk-up, a few old walk-ups in this area. Of course, they need a green pea surface lot. Because why wouldn't they in this neighborhood? Gotta drive the Range Rover to the Starbucks. Clem says 2.45. Wow, a lot of people chimed in with the price. Thank you so much. Clem, Coop, MGL, Mark. Now renting, 448 Forestville Manor. For me, no balcony, no bueno, but doesn't mean it's not for everyone. There's a Starbucks. Some nice patios. La Petite Pain. Get your wine and cafe. Hey, there's a What a Bagel here. I wonder if this is related to the one that was at Yonge and Eglinton. And the Second Cup has been here for a very long time. You got a nice patio. The Village Chill ice cream shop over there. The Wellness House. Randy Rux has got to have the balcony. Yeah, for me. Where am I going to put my e-bikes? And I've got a hammock out there. I've got a table and chairs. Mediterranean grill. Keep on walking before we pick up a copyright from them. Oh, there's a Cafe Landwehr here. Oh, very European looking. What do you say, back into the wealthy neighborhood? Maybe. Let's do it. Whippy Dude says Forest Hill used to be an independent town. Yep. Dude in sunglasses looked like a bodyguard for a VIP. Maybe that was the case. Let's see how we doing. Let's see if we see another for sale sign. Jeff Kennedy. Wow. Thank you, Jeff Kennedy. Lunch is on you. Thank you so much for the very generous $20 super chat. Thank you, Jeff. Cheers to you. The street says no exit on it. Hey, we've hit a couple of no exits. What am I doing? Oh, no exit is that way. That sign has been merely twisted to face this way. We're at 7,100 steps, so we should, yesterday 12,000, day before, just got to hit that 10K on the day. This might be the only time I go outside today. Might rain tonight. Oh wow, look at that. Here are my thoughts on this. Do I like it? No. But do I like it? Yes. I like that it's different. I wouldn't change it, but I wouldn't want to live there. All right, this is Heath Street. This becomes Chichester. Have I ever been to Vancouver? Yes. Have I ever been to Vancouver camera in hand? Nope. Other than the airport a few times. Yeah, Willie, I was talking to the guy, one of the founders of Rome Auto, the company that hooks me up with cars, about just how insanely expensive some like pickup trucks are these days. People dropping $100,000 on just a regular ass pickup if they just want to get a few options thrown in. Cars that used to cost 15 or 20K fly up into the 30s and 40s. Katie L says I'm in your neighborhood. Oh, this is Russell Hill Road. I've definitely cycled down Russell Hill Road before. Maybe we'll go over to Dunvegan. What are the daily rates for car rentals? I don't think they do daily, but check out one of my driving videos. There's a link to Rome Auto in it. Randy Rock says if you live around here, your driver picks you up. I'm sure that's the case for some of these residents. And McLeod says who really needs a pickup truck? Not just Bikes and City Nerd have done videos on that. And how dangerously our pickup trucks are designed compared to vehicles that do the same thing in other parts of the world. That's a gorgeous, gorgeous house on the corner there. See if we can get a better look at it. This street here is loaded with monster homes. Look at that. This is the kind of hood where you get arrested for driving an old beat up car. I don't know about that, but I think people would assume that you're somebody's help. Camp says stop and smell the roses. Well, there's a monster home going up right over there. I think I'm gonna crack open a cold one. Might be a weird spot to do that. One sec. Got the Yeti keeping a drink cool. What are we going with today? Jeanette, you do, and soon you're gonna hear the ananas opening. I've got a pineapple sparkling water. Carl Rob says it's a great day to watch a baseball game. Well, if it doesn't rain, I might even throw the game on one of my laptops and watch it, at least part of it, from a hammock on my balcony. Give the OLED a bit of a rest. The street here, Dunvegan, has some mammoth homes on it. There's one for sale over there. I'm gonna guess the price and you guys can look it up. All right, 49 Dunvegan Road is for sale. I'm gonna put that at 5.8 million. Who wants to look it up? Text FR to that number. For instant info, scan here. Ooh, it didn't lead me. It just led me to this. Screw you, instant info. Very misleading. $49 Dunvegan. I say 5.8 some odd million. What do you guys say? Or what does the listing say?
Yeah, this is 25.
Clem says 16.8. That can't be right. Marge says, holy shit, really? 16.8 million? I thought you guys were kidding. I was off by over $10 million. Enjoying the cool, sparkling water. There's a house that's probably been gutted and completely refinished. Oh, I think that's part of the church. I was about to say, that's a weird looking one. Johnny will buy it for that deal. Yeah, if any billionaires want to super chat me that house, I will be glad to chop it up into rental apartments. I think I'd only need one floor of it myself. I'm a good landlord. A little far from the subway for my liking. I have to hike over to St. Clair West or St. Clair. We're kind of sandwiched between two grocery stores as well. There's a Longo's straight ahead and the Loblaws in the other direction. Hey, Novell Koss is here. He has never paid more than $5 million for a house. Well, you can move in today to these ones, Forest Hill Residences. Who wants to look up how much one of these costs? ForestHillResidences.com. Move in today. So I'm guessing they're rentals. It smells like paint and an unfinished room. I'm gonna say these are like $4,000 a month. Or like a 1-bedroom and den kind of deal. Whippy Dude says people who pay $16 million don't take the subway. Well, I guess I would be the odd one out. This is Forest Hill Road. Oh, Rob's is cracking open a cold beer. Not till Friday or Saturday night. We're all good for now. Maybe if the Jays are in a tense one around the 7th or 8th, I'll crack one open. Crystal says $27.50 and $24.99 for a 2-bedroom. That seems surprisingly reasonable given the grade of building that is. In the Forest Hill location, the rental market must be a little bit hurting. Thank you for looking that up. Hey, for the second time this stream, we are crossing Avenue Road. The only problem with that location is there's not a whole lot at your doorstep. Like where I live now, I've got dozens of restaurants and cafes, 3 supermarkets. If you live there, it'd be pretty much dependent on a car. Cam says, am I still bulking? I think I weighed in at I forget, we can check. But yes, I'm going to be on a slight calorie surplus for a long time. Probably the rest of the year, but let's see. Since you asked and nobody cares. Where are we at? Yeah, I was stuck at 157 for a long time. That was me this morning at 9:06 a.m. Every morning I do a number 1 and hop on the scale. It fluctuates from day to day. You know, your water weight fluctuates, your bowel movements can impact things, but best way to do it is same time, under the same conditions every day, and just look for a general trend. I've started to gain a little bit of weight, which is good. At 5'11", it's still a bit on the light side. But hopefully most of the weight going on is muscle. Anyways. I guess that would be your local supermarket. Clemsons want to put on weight and go on a cruise. Not that kind of weight. Although I watched a video on Tech Trendy yesterday. He did the Ritz-Carlton cruise for 2 people for like 5 nights. It was like 28,000 US dollars. No thanks. Morgan says, well done, 150. My goal is 180. More like 170, and we'll evaluate. I was 180 a year ago, but I had the physique of a pregnant skeleton. It took me a while to fix that. Hey, here's where Glenn Gould, the famous pianist, lived. We walked by here about a month ago on a stream in the other direction. Novell says most of the weight going on is sarcasm. Hey, we've still got over an hour before the game. Thank you, Bob Babam. Carl Roth says, why pay rent? I say buy, put rent towards a mortgage on a house instead. I have 2 schools of thought on that. One, yeah, buy if you can. But if you're gonna rent long term and you have a good price, you can actually come out ahead just by saving that difference and putting it into the right vehicles. The worst thing you can do is rent for a high price relative to your budget for a long term. Don't take your advice from me. That's just what my simpleton self thinks. All right, let's get the dreaded battery bank out. Pat 75 agrees with me. Yeah, I'm more of a renter mindset. But it's easy to say that when you've landed yourself a good deal. Will would love to live on the road in a motorhome. All right, now we're on the juice. Okay, Sapand is here. Greetings, Sapand. As we go east on St. Clair Avenue, if I see an Iceman truck, look out for Drake. Yeah, I saw that online. Oh, did I pin your comment by mistake? That was a mistake. Oops. As we make our way towards Yonge Street. Yeah, probably, Pat. Oh, hey, how's it going? Yeah,
Guppy life.
yes,
Yeah,
long time no see. I saw you in Leslieville.
Yeah, that's right. Everything good?
Yeah.
I saw you streaming. I wanted to come out and say hi.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone.
You're in the hood?
I am. I live just
Oh,
here.
I've seen you in this area too once before, haven't I?
At the traffic lights right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. I just wanted to come out and say hi and everything.
Awesome.
I saw your video. You're in great shape now, right?
Trying to, not as well as you're doing, but no, you're looking good.
I'm trying. I just switched the job. I was driving all the way out to Paris, Ontario every day
Oh,
from
shit.
this neighborhood for a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
So like everything, like working out, everything went upside down. So I just got a new job recently. So
In this area?
it's kind of remote hybrid. So
Oh,
I'm
awesome.
sometimes out, sometimes I'm in. I saw you coming by. I wanted to say hello.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, I just saw you passing by, man. But it was crazy. I was thinking around 5 years ago, I used to watch your videos in England. Mm-hmm. And then I've been here for about 3.5 years, but it's unreal like that I'm here and
You're fully acclimated.
almost, man.
Almost?
I think in about a month, our final permanent residence should come through.
Awesome.
We're just waiting for like the paperwork in the post, man.
Well,
So,
I guess socially and all the other ways you're fully.
Oh yeah, no,
fully here.
we love. That's why we're staying. we like it enough to stay. So,
Awesome.
But yeah, I'll let you do your thing. Just wanted to come out and say hi.
Awesome.
All right, take it easy.
Well,
man.
cheers. Good to see you again.
See ya.
Congrats.
See ya.
Friendly guy. I first met him a long time ago down in Leslieville. He's got a channel, I think, the Guppy Life, Gupi. And I think he's done some videos in and around Toronto. It's always cool to meet those people that watch the channel from afar. And they had dreams of moving or visiting here, and then you meet them on the streets here, and they're like, hey, I used to watch your stuff. All right, super friendly guy. I went to this St. Louis. They've got a nice spot on the rooftop. That used to be Scallywags. That's been a few different bars, but hopefully it sticks around as a St. Louis. That's a really good fit for that location. Elise says, nice hair too. All right. What time is it? It is 1:07. We are at Yonge and St. Clair. Blue Jays in an hour. Marge says Scallywags have great tapas. Whippy Dude says don't envy him driving to Paris every day. Yeah, especially if he got stuck in traffic. Yikes. But you know what? We're gonna make this a TTC free day. I'm just gonna walk my ass back to Yonge and Eglinton. We'll save $3 in change. Get some extra steps in. Tana says this weather makes you tired. So that's what we're gonna do. I'll walk all the way to Young Eglinton. I'll pick up some lunch. What's for lunch? I don't know. Neat, Carl. 4,800. Speaking of former pubs, that used to be a Fox and the Fiddle. A few different pubs operated out of that spot. And it's a shame because they have an awesome patio setup up top. For the light to change here. Too many potholes, yeah. Not the best shape these roads are in. A lot of the heavy construction vehicles that pound Toronto streets have a lot to do with that. Why is that guy going the wrong way in the bike lane? You better be making a left here. Yep. Greg says it was a Shopsies at one point. I remember going to the Shopsies downtown often before Blue Jay games. Sometimes we'd go to the Ed's restaurants. And if I time this right, I'll pick up some lunch and sit down in front of the tele, watch the Jays. Greetings, Random Travels. We've been walking for an hour and 40. And we're still not even at 10K yet. Sapand has a monthly pass, so you can ride the subway every day. I think every pass should be a monthly pass. What do you pay a month, like $160? I think the way it should work is once you tap over, say, $160 worth on the same card, it should just turn into unlimited rides for the rest of the month with that card. Why make people guess up front if they need to buy a monthly pass or not? Especially with a lot of people working from home now. The math doesn't always work out. Greg says Barger's exit velocity is second only to Otani's. Yeah, he's a couple of biceps attached to a human body, isn't he? He swings hard. What a fantastic find. I think he's only a year younger than Vladdy. He didn't look so hot last year. But I think everyone is super grateful they stuck with him. I honestly think even if Bichette leaves in the offseason, this team's got enough pieces to stay in contention. Bichette's got a lot of red flags in his stats anyway. So hopefully they don't overpay him, but hopefully he stays. Across the street is Mount Pleasant Cemetery. And on this side, we have the subway line. Greetings, Zach McNally. And just a friendly reminder, if you haven't yet, do hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified when I go live next, probably Friday or Saturday. Also, I'll probably be live on Sunday night on the Stumbles channel. Pat75 says the hitting coach is awesome. Yeah, the coaching staff are certainly earning their keep this year. Yeah, Greg, Bo is not a very good base runner and he doesn't have amazing range. Makes you pine for the days of Tony Fernandez a little bit, but he's still a great piece to have. Crystal G says your family is buried there. In an absolutely beautiful cemetery. Alright, what's going to be for lunch? It's time to start thinking about where I'm going. Ooh, I could get 2 Mozza burgers for $11.99. As we go underneath the K. Gardner Beltline Trail, Cam says it's Whopper Wednesday. There used to be a Burger King at Young Eglinton. JJ used to be a fan of Bo. Ryan says Thai Express. Yeah, there is a Thai Express coming up. But I'd rather go to Star King. And get something from them if I'm doing Thai. Should we consider A&W to be a Canadian company? Their Canadian franchises are drastically different from what you'll find in the States. I think their whole ethos is different. little subway action. There's a pub, The Bull. Mozzarella. I don't know how you, M-O-Z-Z-A. I don't know how you say Mozza burger, Mozza burger. But I know how to pronounce the whole word. Someone said their vote goes to Osmos. I could do Osmos. That place gets a lot of flack, but I kind of like it. Oh, Mr. Sub. I could definitely do some Mr. Sub. I don't really want to carry the sandwich and live stream that whole experience. All right, Derek C., same to you. If you're wondering what Mr. Sub is, it's a submarine sandwich shop. Not unlike Subway, but if you're from this area, you know it as kind of the OG submarine chain. Subway started to invade in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of like how Second Cup used to have a much bigger presence. Back when Starbucks was just setting its roots into Canada. All right, this is Yonge and Davisville coming up. We're gonna wait for the next light cycle. Randy Ruck, Matzo Burger, $10. Randy Ruck casting his vote. Well, don't be disappointed if I don't get one, Randy, but thank you so much for the tenner. I'm definitely gonna get me some A&W at some point. Greg says Mr. Sub is way better than Subway. Change your mind. I will not change your mind because I agree with you. But thank you, Randy Ruck. Morgan says I have to go now. Starlene likes homemade Subway. Wouldn't that just be a sandwich? You like homemade sandwiches? Paul B says hello, Johnny. Ireland is watching. Which one? The Dublin, Ireland, or the Belfast, Ireland? I'm sure people from both countries are offended. I refer to their whole country by one city. I'd like to go to either or both of those places. Never been. There's a Timmy's. Hey, we're gonna go by where I had dinner last night. There's Kramer's. They got a rooftop patio. Jersey Mike's or Firehouse. I've tried both. Can I say I genuinely don't have an opinion? I like both. All right, Duffman. Thank you for tuning in. YSS upgraded their membership. Thank you, YSS, for upgrading to gold tier. Thank you, and thanks again to Randy Ruck. As we are in very familiar territory now. This place, this used to be a gastropub. Now it's Celtic Irish Pub. House Lager, $3.99. And they had like half-price wings yesterday when I walked by. I'm gonna have to try that place out. And they've got a nice little patio in the back. All right, Crystal G. enjoy whatever it is you end up eating. There's Mila Kunis's favorite spot, Cobb's Bread, although she liked the one in the beaches. Is Kramer still there? Yeah, we just walked by Kramer's. Tyler McMillan, welcome to Silver Tier. Tyler McMillan, thank you so much for joining the ranks of Silver Tier. Silver Tier. Yes, the Silver Chair. Thank you, Tyler. As a really bad song populates my head. I remember being in high school and everyone was like, that guy's trying to sound like Eddie Vedder. But thank you, Tyler. What are your thoughts on San Francesco's? I've only had them a few times. I don't really remember much, so I'll have to plead ignorance to having much of an opinion. There's one over in Leaside, if I'm not mistaken. JJ says, pretty sure you saved a ton, over $600 from everything you picked up. Yeah, I have not ordered delivery food nearly as often lately. I just get off my ass and go pick it up. I have been hungover and ordered the odd McDonald's breakfast. Oops. But other than that, those delivery companies are vampires. And holy shit, it gets really expensive. And here's where I went last night. Madame Saigon. That guy waved. What a great addition to the neighborhood that place has been. And I went to Little Sister a few weeks back and sat on that patio. Some Indonesian food. And we all know I go there on Tuesdays somewhat often. Half-price wings. They have an all-you-can-eat deal too. If half price isn't good enough. Dave's Hot Chicken. I went there a few times right after it opened. And I don't think I like seeing that show up on my credit card statement. It is pricey for what it is. Tiana will get KFC. Oh, there is KFC in Midtown. There's one at the Young Eglinton Center. Yeah, Greg, it's kind of ridiculous. It's also funny when you log into Uber Eats and it's like 2-for-1 deal on these poke bowls, and then the poke bowls are like $38. You literally doubled the price and called it a 2-for-1 deal. And then you have to pay all those bullshit fees on top of it. Heinzel says Mary Brown's is also good. I gave that place 2 tries. And both tries, the chicken was so dry. Maybe it was just the location I went to. But I was very underwhelmed by it. That was back when I was going to Popeyes all the time. There's Oretta. Same as the Oretta on King Street West, but a very different clientele. And a ramen shop that's pretty good next to it. Snow Queen says, do I ever make my own food? Do smoothies count? Does a bowl of Weetabix count? I've got some cooking videos up on the Stumbles channel. Here's an instant ramen. Self-serve Korean noodles. Restaurant. I don't know, that place. Self-serve Korean noodle and snack bar. And there's where I used to get my hair cut until they raised the price 10,000%. Now, I was thinking about those two mozza burgers, Randy, but I think I'm going to save that for another day. Also, sadly, most A&Ws, if not all of them, don't accept Amex. Who earns to that? Does opening a can count? A can of beans? Can of spaghetti sauce? As we are heading up towards Yonge and Eglinton. Where to go, what to eat. There's Alouette Go. Could be an option. Oh, there's a Popeyes. What would I get from Popeyes? Like a chicken sandwich and a coleslaw, maybe? Heinzel says, you learned if a business operates with Square POS system, they will accept Amex as part of the partnership. So yeah, this says Amex has expensive fees for the merchants, but what they have is amazing customer loyalty. Yeah, they're more than Visa and MasterCard, but you're more likely to have those customers come back if you accept it. There's a trade-off. I myself have stopped going to some places because they don't take it when there's alternatives that do. I mean, I've had my Amex card for what? A few months now. I don't want to overshare any info, but let's see. Membership. Yeah, these points can be directly converted to Aeroplan points. I'm already at 21,000. I just got this card. That Baca Gallery or Baca Cafe I went to and had a iced latte. If I was using my Aeroplan, that would have been 7 points. I got 41 points. Just on food and drink and groceries. Like, Is Amex American? Yeah, but so is MasterCard, so is Visa. So are many of the point of sale systems merchants use. Council says, I want to share the 18-digit CC with CCV and expiration, please. No, I don't really feel like having to call them and have to get a new card reissued. But hey, this stream started 2 hours and 5 minutes ago up on that rooftop. And here we are 12,000 some odd steps later. Or I guess a little less than that. We have to count my walk from my apartment to there. Time to pick up some lunch to watch the Jays with. I'll probably be done eating it when the Jays come on. Rollation, pizza, proudly Canadian. Do you think there's a recession coming up? I think that's a decent investment. They have a pretty nice dividend payout. And that's the kind of business that does well when times are rough. Well, it looks like we might be avoiding that. I'm really curious to see who's going to move into where Urban Outfitters used to be. Pine Sol, $2.79, a Diet Dr. Pepper with that. I'm wearing the Dr. Pepper shirt for the first time in ages, probably a year. Thank you, Pine Sol. Thank you so much for the $2.79. Cheers. I do not have any Diet Dr. Pepper in the fridge, but I do have Diet Pepsi. There's Star King. I miss it when it used to be a sit-down restaurant. Young Rong hot dog. Get a poke bowl in there. Turkish cuisine. Do you have Yoshinoya up here? If we had Yoshinoya, I would be there all the time. I don't know how many times I went to that Yoshinoya in Osaka. I went a few times on my recent trip in Tokyo earlier as well. It's always good to try something new, but when you're hungry and it's right there. Cam says I need a cherry Pepsi shirt. Well, we're gonna cross. We are firmly in my hood. There's a video of this area coming up. later on in the week on the channel, I think. Bill Chouse's many credit card hackers say American Express is the best travel card. Yeah, the Amex Cobalt card. Nothing even comes close to it. All right. We might just be going to Osmos. Am I getting Jolly Bean? No. I have sworn off that Jolly Bean since they ripped me off. I'm a very spiteful person. That Jolly Bean did me dirty once, so I just don't go back. There's a place called Cha Bar that way. They have excellent gelato and a really good affogato. All right. I think we're gonna go with good old Osmos. Someone suggested it. Cheers from North Sudbury. Awesome. Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this longer than usual Wednesday afternoon live stream. Huge thanks to our mods, Patreon supporters, channel members. Big thanks to everyone who just tuned in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that fun stuff. Big thanks to everyone who sent support during the stream, as well as those who joined channel membership and upgraded. Huge thanks to everyone. There'll be a video tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. EDT on the channel. And then Friday, I don't know. I'll stream Friday or Saturday. But thank you so much, guys. Do hit that thumbs up. Yoink.